Hey friend, it's Stacy saying hello with a Summer of Sabbath replay. You're listening to episode 17, Enough is Enough, Sabbath Stopping. Hi, I'm Stacy Holmes, and this is Glordinary, a few moments where we celebrate God's glory and champion the ordinary. I'm glad you're here. Tell me, friend, did you have a summer job growing up? When I was a teenager, I worked as a rides attendant at Hershey Park, basically my backyard amusement park. Yes, I'm a Hershey girl, and yes, it is the sweetest place on earth. It was kind of a fun job operating the rides, loading passengers, and snagging all the loose coins that fell from the roller coaster loops. The not-so-fun parts involved cleaning up the vomit after said roller coaster loops. Yummy! One thing permanently lodged in my brain from our rides training was the all-important, sacred E-stop button. Oh yes, the E-stop, or emergency stop. This big red button would not only immediately shut down your ride, but also send an army of rides, security, medical, and maintenance managers running. It was kind of a big deal, and definitely not something you pushed lightly. And I wonder if life isn't like that some days. Like, where's the E-stop, right? When do I get to push the button and people magically come to help? We go and go and go, pushing ourselves harder, longer, and faster. Where's that E-stop again? Well, last week on our Summer of Sabbath series, we talked about a Sabbath starting point as stopping, resting, delighting, and worshiping. So since I've got you here, grab your cold brew coffee and let's start by stopping. If it sounds weird, it's because it is weird. We're not very good at stopping, but God already knew that. The idea of stopping is woven into the fabric of the creation story. Our world and everything we know is wired for Sabbath, wired to stop. In fact, our word Sabbath comes from a Hebrew verb meaning to stop. We see the origin of Sabbath in Genesis 2:2 and 3, and it reads like this. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. And God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. There's two big themes I hear in that. One, we learn about who God is, and two, we learn about why that matters. First, we learn he's a God who stops. On the seventh day, he rested. He stops. He didn't stop because he needed to get off his feet like, oh man, my dogs are barking. No, he stops to model it. He models how to say, enough is enough, and he stops. I remember when my oldest was a toddler, I was trying to model manners, so whenever I would hand her a drink or a bowl of goldfish, the unofficial snack of all toddlers everywhere, I'd say, "Thank you, Mommy." I felt so ridiculous constantly saying, "Thank you, Mommy," on repeat, because it wasn't that I needed it, but I needed to model it for her to learn. And God the Father does the same for us. He models how to stop, and in doing so, we see why that matters so much. The word says that God blessed the seventh day as holy. Friend, holy, well, it's a whole thing. Most of us hear that word holy, and it's just another one of the church words. We know it, but can't really define it, so yeah, we really don't know. The Hebrew word for holy means clean, or holy. That's holy, W-H-O-L-L-Y, as in not a portion, but the whole. God blessed the seventh day as a whole day, a day to be, to stop, to become whole. I don't think it's an accident the word holy first occurs in Genesis 2, smack in the middle of the creation story, the story of how the whole world came from nothing. Whole from nothing. I'm curious if we too aren't recreated, if we aren't becoming whole again of sorts, when we do nothing except stop. A Sabbath stop. So what does this practically look like? Well, I can tell you what it doesn't look like. It doesn't look like a day off. Huh? Oh, friend, you know I'm right. Because what do you do on your day off? You run errands. You attempt to beat the rush at Sam's Club. You mow the lawn, catch up on laundry, weed the garden, do chores, pay bills, prep food for the week. That doesn't sound like stopping, does it? I can easily fill a week's worth of Saturdays and still have, just one more thing. And that's not Sabbath. So how do we stop? Well, the word doesn't tell us how he stopped in Genesis 2. It just says he did stop. He stopped from the planning, the building, the crafting, the curating, the creating. He rested from logistics and work. He said, enough is enough, and he stopped. He modeled how to stop, and he blessed the stopping as holy, as restorative, as cleansing, as whole. For me, on Sabbath, it looks like saying enough to homeschooling and podcasting, saying enough to thinking about it, stressing over it, planning around it. I'm not a podcaster. I'm not a writer. I'm not a teacher. I'm simply Stacy. On Sabbath, my husband John's not a programmer. He's not an engineer. He's simply John, deeply loved by a good and generous God. Pastor Wayne Muller tells of a South American tribe in his book titled Sabbath. This tribe, they'd march for long periods of time, likely keeping a grueling pace, when suddenly the entire tribe would abruptly stop and sit. When asked why they did this time and time again, their response was that they, quote, needed the time of rest so that their souls could catch up. They needed to stop and rest so their souls could catch up. Friend, are you working so hard to get by, to get ahead? Am I moving so fast through my days, blurring from one to the next, one season to the next? Have I even processed one high or low before the next one hits? Does my soul need a chance to catch up? Does yours? Sabbath gives your soul a chance to catch up. It's more than margin. It's more than a vacation. It's more than a day off. It's Sabbath, a chance for your soul to not only catch up, but live and breathe again. No matter how fast, how long, how grueling the pace of life may be, let's decide now to stop for one day. To stop our work, our worries, our stressors, our to-dos, our chore list, our honey-do list, our punch list, our lust for more. A chance to stop the rat race and step off the hamster wheel, to just give our souls a chance to catch up. So on the seventh day, he rested. He stopped. He's a God who stops, not because he needs to, but because we do. May we remember the Sabbath day and begin by stopping. Remember, you're not alone in this. I'm praying for you, friend. Have a glordinary day.